I want to talk about animals that only eat plants or plant-based animals and why that even matters. Okay, so we're going to learn a couple things. If you're interested in just what those animals are, I will go over those quickly. I'll go down the list and then I'll talk about why that matters after that for our plant-based journey. All right, so quick list of some of the more common ones. We've got like the cow, the panda, the elephant, the deer, the gorilla, the horse, giraffe, beaver, camel, bison, antelope, buffalo, donkey, butterfly, the goat, the guinea pig, the rabbit, the hippo, the kangaroo, the manatee, the rhino, the snail, the squirrel, the yak, and the zebra. That's the list I have right here. I'm sure there's more that could be added to that list. And let's jump into why that even matters, okay? So particularly in America, you see kind of this false belief that you have to eat lots of animal meat or animal foods to get enough protein in your diet. There's a protein craze, and there's a large fear that if you eat plant-based, you're not going to get enough protein in your diet, right? And you're going to wither away or something bad is going to happen to you physically. Well, that's completely not true. You know, there's research, doctors have looked at people on vegan diets and found that they get enough protein, adequate amounts of protein in their diet, even though, yes, they are getting less protein than those who are eating animal-based products. They're getting enough protein, and that's what matters. And there's also research that shows that actually too much protein, or particularly the protein that comes from animal foods, actually is bad for our bodies and causes them to age prematurely, and also causes things like disease and cancer, right? So let's talk about why it matters that these animals are plant-based animals and that they only eat plants, right? So the reason why that matters is, you know, we're not just doing studies and saying, okay, well, these regions of people, they eat plant-based and, you know, they're healthy. And we do have that, okay? The longest living people in the world, the healthiest groups of people are plant-based eaters. They eat very little to no meat, and that's called the blue zones, okay? So look that up, or I'll try to make some future videos. If there's interest, comment below if you'd like that. So we have that research there, but then if we just look into nature and we look at animals in nature who are only eating plant-based, well, what do we find? These animals are just fine. And it teaches us that these animals are actually getting enough protein from eating plants. See, that's the big dilemma. That's the big debate and question, is that if you just eat plants, you're not going to get any protein. Well, that's not true at all. Okay, and some of these animals are very big and very strong and very fierce animals. Okay, we're not talking about like the sloth, you know, who might move an inch an hour. I don't know how fast sloths move. If you know, leave a comment about that. I'd be curious to know. Okay, we're talking about some fierce, strong animals here. You know, bulls, gorillas, panda bears. Panda bears are extremely fierce. You don't want to mess with a panda bear. They're very strong. Of course, gorillas are extremely strong, right? Horses are very strong, very fast. All of these animals have, not only are they very strong, right, they're very fast, they're very energetic, you know, so they have everything they need to survive and to thrive on plants alone, and they're getting enough protein from the plants. And that's the key thing. The misconception is that plants don't have protein. Well, that's incorrect. Every single plant has protein, including vegetables. Yes, they may have lower amounts of protein, but they still have protein. And as humans, especially if we're eating plant-based, we have the option to eat even higher foods with even higher levels of protein, things such as beans and tofu and nuts. And all of these have, because it is true that vegetables do have lower amounts of protein, and especially fruits do as well. But the thing is, if you're eating, you can still get enough protein from that. But we're not just eating that, we're also eating, when we do the plant-based diet, we want to eat beans, we want to eat nuts, we want to eat like whole grains. Even rice has protein, okay? Whole grains have protein in them. And this is protein that really will fuel our bodies. It'll give us adequate amounts of protein that we need, even for muscle building, because these animals are extremely strong and muscular animals. And yes, there are vegan bodybuilders and there are vegan athletes who are doing very well, who are building lots of muscle, very strong, tons of energy, right? So it is possible. All right. Another note is, yes, some of these, or maybe all these animals do, probably not all of them, I'll say some of them do drink milk, but only in infancy, okay? And they drink their mother's milk, but only during infancy, okay? That's the only time that they're consuming the animal protein, is when they're infants and they're growing, just like humans. When, we drink milk when we're infants, we breastfeed, right? That's a natural process. So anyway, I hope that answers some questions. I hope you can see that there are animals out there who only eat plant-based and are healthy and are thriving and are getting enough protein, because believe it or not, there is protein in plant-based foods, and it is an adequate amount of protein for us. And this is especially true when we're eating nuts and beans and things like that. And we are improving our health at the same time by eating plant-based. So that's the way to go, guys. And if you found this helpful, please like this video and leave a comment below. And I really appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe. And guys, thanks for watching. Until next time.